He does.
God, you're a fool.
How am I a fool? How am I a fool? You have Trump derangement syndrome. You just hate him. Who died on January 6th? Who died? Who died?
Well, we have multiple suicides from
give me a
officers.
I think there are millions, if not tens, who feel like he does. I
don't give a how he feels. When you say
I say what?
When you say that was anything other.
Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. Today we're going to be discussing a debate between Vinny from the PBD podcast and Steve Schmidt, founder of the Lincoln Project, which is a bunch of Republicans, allegedly, that started a campaign to get Trump out of office. Now, our friend Steve Schmidt here should change his name to Steve because he is full of it. The National Review reports the Associated Press has a devastating piece detailing how the members of the Lincoln Project, the scam, quote, GOP PAC, beloved by the media, enriched themselves on gullible donors. This fact is likely to be unsurprising by anyone with even a passing familiarity with the organization. The AP reports that of the $90 million the Lincoln Project raised, more than $50 million went to firms controlled by the leaders and, quote, exorbitant consulting fees collected by members of the group. An arrangement that avoids disclosure. And there's a lot to get through here and a lot to be learned as well. So shout outs to my boy Luke Hunter, a loyal subscriber who sent me this on Instagram. With that, let's get into the clips.
You lose credibility when you say 2,977 people died is less of an event than one person dying on J6. When you say that, you've already...
You're manipulating what I said, twisting it. What I said was January 6th was a more severe attack on the United States. September 11th had more casualties. There's a difference.
How do you measure worse? There's got to be data. You said you're a data guy. Data says one event we lost nearly 3,000 people. One event we lost one. The average person, they're going to say, of course, 3,000 is going to be worse.
Because
than
I
one.
guess I'm counting the 600,000 that died in the American Civil War, and I'm counting the 405,000 that died in the Second World War, and I'm counting the 50,000 that died in the Korean War. And I'm counting the 58,000 that died in the Vietnam War. And I'm counting the acts of sacrifice that go back to 1776 that were desecrated on that day, incited by a single man who assaulted the Constitution of the United States. We were attacked by a foreign enemy on September 11th of 2001. The casualties were horrendous, as they were on December 7th of 1941. But the attack on January 6th was more severe also than the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Well, some would call it attack, but from the videos that we saw, Steve, from Twitter and just undercover cameras, it didn't look like an attack. If somebody
what are you talking about?
I'm just talking about all the videos that we've seen, the undercover.
What do you mean all the videos?
All the videos on Twitter.
Well, all the videos on Twitter?
Yeah, hold on.
Are you guys going to really sit here and tell me that the attack on January 6th didn't happen, that the violence, the bludgeoning of the police officers didn't happen?
Hold on.
Because of some bullshit on Twitter?
Hold on.
Here we go. Get the out
Steve,
of here.
Steve, I'll give you my opinion, and then you could talk.
So just quickly there, I'm surprised that nobody picked up on this on the panel, because he snuck in there that not only is it worse than 9/11, it's also worse than Pearl Harbor. Worse than Josh Hartnett stealing Ben Affleck's girl after his plane got shot down. He was a hero. But in all seriousness, one of the worst attacks in American history, with a death toll only second to 9/11. And now if you're somebody with a functioning prefrontal cortex and a logical aptitude, you might be thinking, how the hell could you say something like that? Well, that's because Steve isn't a real human being with a conscience. Steve is a Trump derangement syndrome bot. He saw a moment and an opportunity when the country was more divided than they've ever been, and when the media was relentlessly attacking Trump.
Fake news. It's fake. Phony. Fake.
And he decided that this would be a good time to raise a bunch of money for him and his friends. So if your whole shtick and your hustle is telling the world that Donald Trump is the modern incarnation of Ivan the Terrible, then January 6th would have been the opportunity of a lifetime to go out on a We Were Right campaign and try and be a gunslinging democracy cowboy that laid it all down for the country. And so let's check out now Vinny's response. And I do think he spits some real bars here, but I also think PBD would have sat him down after this, or at least made a few passing comments about how he handled himself. At this stage, Vinny is doing very well, and he has a great opportunity here because Steve is swearing and attacking him. And then Vinny says, Steve, I can give you my opinion, and then we can talk in true PBD fashion. So I know I always say this, but guys, watch closely here, see what you pick up, and actually let me know in the comments. Who wins this debate? How did they do it? What could have been done better? What opportunities were missed? What opportunities were capitalized on? I'm sure you guys will notice a lot of things that I don't pick up. So let's check it out, and then I'm going to give you my response after.
First of all, you comparing...
It's not an opinion.
Hold on.
It's not an opinion. It's a bullshit conspiracy.
All right, time out. I'm not only a fucking New Yorker, I'm a veteran. For you, time out. Yeah. My sister's a veteran. My brother's a veteran. He's a veteran. For you to listen to me, for you to say that January 6th compared to 9/11 that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Hold on. Let me finish. Number one. It wasn't an attack. It looked like a guided tour. Okay, that's what it.
You're a nut.
Are you? Yeah, you ain't right. I am. It was a guided tour.
A guided tour.
You think
a guy beating the cops?
What?
With all the violence?
Who died? Who died? Ashley Babbitt, a veteran. They shot. The Capitol Police shot her ass. Where the is that guy getting in trouble? You're just upset because Donald Trump said, you know what? They probably cheated. You don't think he has a leg to stand on that they did it in 2016? Hillary, Russia, FBI, colluded. Are you how are we crazy, Steve?
Guys, if you enjoy these videos where I break down the verbal chess matches as I see them, then don't forget to chuck a like on the video. And if you get value from the channel and you're not subscribed already, then I would love to have you here. Back to the clips.
How are we crazy?
I mean, this is going to be on video, so I mean, you're going to speak for yourself.
No, I'm going to speak for myself. Yeah. 19 terrorists took 4 commercial flights, crashed them in the World Trade, crashed them in the Pentagon, did all that. Yeah. Okay, and you're saying that, and we've lost, and by the way, for how many decades of wars, we've lost over 1 million people from the Iraq War, which is all bullshit, all a lie. 1 million people.
We lost 1 million Americans in the Iraq War?
No, we lost. We killed people because we said there was weapons of mass destruction. We lied. Bush lied. Oh yeah, there's weapons of mass destruction there. There was no weapons of mass destruction, but we were like, oh, we changed the name since we're here, enduring freedom, which is okay. So as a veteran, as an American, as a New Yorker, for you to say that one day compared to that is absolutely absurd, Steve. I understand that you love this country. I'm not questioning your patriotism, but the hate for one guy because he loves this country so much is absolute bullshit.
I find this really interesting to watch because I think I have a pretty good understanding of how Valuetainment works as a company. And you guys that watch the channel will know that I'm a great admirer of PBD and I love what he's doing with the business creating new forms of media. Now, Pat is obviously a mentor to Vinny and he's another Assyrian guy and they go way back, I think. As far as I can see, his plan is to scout talent, build it from the ground up, and mentor them to becoming superstars rather than just buying superstars. Although there's probably some money in the budget for that too now. PBD saw this years ago. He thought the mainstream media is failing and something else is going to come up and take its place. And so he started planning to be exactly where he is right now. And so he's brought on Vinny to be the face of Valuetainment Comedy, which is a wing of Valuetainment. And then he has him on the main podcast to be a co-host and build his profile. So for that, these viral clips are great. But as his profile develops, he will have a greater responsibility to be a good representative of the brand. And PBD is the master of communication, pretty much does it better than anyone. So let me try and put myself in his shoes for a second and have a go at what I think he would be thinking in that moment. Vinny actually started really well, like I said before, and he looked like he was going to be cool and calm and composed. Like he was going to be able to duck and weave some of this idiot's haymakers and throw some deadly counter combinations and put him on the ropes. But he made the crucial mistake of allowing Steve Shit's personal attacks to affect him. As you saw there, Vinny got pretty defensive, which I understand because of the absolute absurdity of the claims that are being made, that are not only dishonest, but an affront to truth and purely ideologically and financially motivated. But when somebody goes low like that and starts swearing at you, there is a serious opportunity for you to keep your composure and allow yourself to be a mirror for them. A mirror with which they are confronted by their own flaws by seeing your equanimity. And Vinny actually finished it off okay there by saying, I'm not questioning your patriotism or your love for the country, but X. So let's see if they can find some common ground there, and then I'm going to get into the nuts and bolts of things.
One guy, because he loves this country so much,
he loves the country.
Bullshit. He does.
God, you're a fool.
How am I a fool? How am I a fool? You have Trump derangement syndrome. You just hate him. You just hate the guy.
You are taken in by a con man.
No, I'm not. I guess
he
what?
loves
I'm
the
not a
country.
Republican.
Trump
I'm not
loves
a
the
Democrat.
country.
You damn right he does. He's been saying it since the 80s, 90s on Letterman and all these shows.
He's a guy on September 11th who went down, said he was down there. He wasn't. He's a guy who called in on a radio. He said, now I got the tallest building in Lower Manhattan. He's a guy who lied about Muslims cheering it in New Jersey from Jersey City. He is a con man. He is a liar. And that you have fallen for this bullshit.
I'm not falling for anything, Steve.
Please.
Steve, how about this, Steve? It didn't have to be Trump. What I love is that this dude sacrificed everything to pull back a curtain and tell the regular American.
What did Donald Trump sacrifice?
Time out. Guess what?
What did Donald Trump sacrifice?
His career, he could go to prison. He could go to prison for what you guys want for the rest of his life.
Probably shouldn't have broken the law.
No, Steve, you know what it was? Steve, don't give me this breaking law bullshit. Huh? He pulled open a curtain and let all of us see. The regular people. Look at what these assholes are doing. Fake news, fake this.
Are you talking about the shower curtain where he had the country's most sensitive secrets?
Oh, you mean but Biden doesn't bother you? But Biden doesn't bother you?
Right?
They all take documents home. They all take that. Hey, hold on. Were we in better shape now than when Trump was in? Are you happy with what's going on? You and your Lincoln Project, but mind you, the biggest hypocrites, you guys were going after him for Russian collusion and tax evading. That's what you guys were doing. All your people. You were the only one that was innocent. The rest of them were perverted. One of them was a Russian agent. One of them owes $390,000 in a tax lien in his house, and the other guy went to court from American Express for not paying his $30,000 tax bill. You guys are the biggest hypocrites. The biggest hypocrites. You guys hate the man. You guys just hate the man. But the policies and what he did for this country, I'm happy. Listen, it didn't have to be him, Steve. It could have been a turtle. He woke us up. He told people, hey, look at this curtain. Look at what these assholes are doing. Fake news, and it's all bullshit. And he sacrificed it all for us. Plain and simple, Steve. Say what you want. Say what you want. You're talking to a veteran that whole family fought for this country, and my parents are immigrants, and I'm a New Yorker. For you to compare those two is fucking asinine. The only girl that died was a veteran. The Capitol Police shot her. You said bludgeoning? Who died on January 6th? Who died?
Well, we have multiple suicides.
God, give me a break. Give me a break.
We have a lot of
multiple on January 6th in the Capitol. Who died? I'm passionate because I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth, Steve. You're the one. You were cussing and talking shit. You're not going to do that with me. I'm sorry, bro.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
You are sitting here lying to millions of people about what happened on January 6th.
I'm lying.
Which was an attack on the country incited by the president. Watch the
Why is he in jail for inciting violence?
He will be soon.
Is that the video? Is that the video where he's like, go peaceful? Yeah. He's like, go in there, be peaceful.
That's what happened.
So just some points here. It's so important not to take the bait when somebody starts personally attacking you. At the start of the clip there, Steve says to Vinny, you're a fool, to which Vinny responds, how am I a fool? You have Trump derangement syndrome, which he does. In fact, he would actually need divine intervention at this stage to cure his Trump derangement syndrome. But the ideal thing to do here is to stick to the ideas, deflect the personal attacks, and not get defensive. What I think would have been a good response there would have been something like, okay, you think that I'm a fool for thinking what so many millions of Americans think. You're entitled to your opinion. It's a strong opinion. Tell me why I'm wrong. And there are so many different ways to deal with these attacks in different situations. Just for your own personal life, guys, a little bit off track here. But if you ever find yourself in a situation where somebody is personally attacking you, gratuitously insulting you, especially if it's in public and they're trying to impress people, just stop and stare at them. Give them one of these ones. Just be neutral, unaffected, not happy, not sad, and let them marinate in their own insecurity and watch them squirm. You'd be surprised how effective saying absolutely nothing can be sometimes. But just another thing here, guys. PBD commands such an insane amount of respect in these highly stressful confrontations, not only because of who he is, but how he acts. He is always watching and analyzing, and make no mistakes, guys. If you walk in and you see a panel of 4 people, 2 of them are yelling at each other, one of them doesn't really know what to do and is a bit quiet, and the other one is watching, analyzing, observing, and studying, it is the latter that you need to be worried about. You want to tread carefully around that guy. He's trained in this stuff. He knows that when you go low, he's going to go higher. He knows that when you grab your water bottle or start shuffling your paper, you're subconsciously using those inanimate objects as a shield, meaning that you're feeling defensive and you don't want to engage with those ideas. So I'm going to poke a little bit more. I'm going to go a little bit deeper on those ideas. When you move away from your microphone, it means that you're triggered. So when that happens, I'm going to do my best to maintain my composure. I'm going to stay really calm while you're triggered, and I might even give you a compliment to show the difference that is night and day between you and I. Pat is the kind of guy that noticed and internalized that comment that you made when you walked in the door. That was an insult in disguise. He noticed as well that you didn't acknowledge the cleaners. He also noticed that when you shook his hand, you didn't look in his eye. A man who is trained in the art of observation and who is always 15 moves ahead is a very, very dangerous man. The guy who is emotional and reactive, however, is easy to manipulate. If you trigger his ego or you poke him in a place where he's emotionally invested, then he will be all over it like Kim Kardashian on a home video. And also, even though Steve Shit's rhetoric here is enough to allow him to dig his own grave, it would have been so much more effective if Vinny were able to hold his feet to the fire and hold him accountable for his ideas. He clearly did not want to engage, because every time it was his chance to speak, he just says, "Oh, you're a nut job. You're a whack job." He had nothing good to say. Getting heated there was actually a get out of jail card for Steve, because he didn't have to go into the ideas, and now it's just a low-hanging fruit ad hominem tennis match. Vinny was actually making some great points here, but what he needed to do was have the temperance to know when to shut up and let his opponent walk himself to the gallows. There was a few times there when I was thinking, let him speak. I want to hear how he tries to squirm out of that, but then Vinny kept talking. A chance missed to get some real points on the board there, and you're going to see a lot of that as well in the next clips, as well as Pat coming in and doesn't say too much, but doesn't really need to show that there is levels to this game.
Yeah. I don't know.
You guys hate the person.
You guys don't seem to be a whack job like this guy.
Yeah, I'm a whack job.
But you know what it is though, Steve? You know what it is? So for me, I want to respect the voter, and I think there are millions, if not tens, who feel like he does. I don't
give a how he feels. And this is
I don't give a how you feel.
And this is important. This is important because you can watch the video. Yeah. You can watch the video. You can watch the actual video of the insurrectionists attacking the Capitol. That's real.
It wasn't a guided tour, but at the same time, I don't think many people think that it was an actual insurrection. It was a horrible day in American history. Horrible day. It was not a tour through the Capitol. It was horrible. But at the same time, you have to understand that millions of Americans are going to see what you said about 9/11 and be shell-shocked by the ramifications of what you're saying. So this is what I'm saying, that you're both right and wrong in your assessment.
I think millions of Americans will understand perfectly what I'm saying. I think millions of Americans, sadly, are abused by people like you.
I'm abused.
Who have a platform and communicate misinformation like you just did, that this was a guided tour as opposed to a violent attack. You are one of the people, through your conspiracies, who is poisoning the discourse and the ability of people to tell reality.
Yeah.
I want to say for the record, you're completely, absolutely, totally full of when you say
I say what?
When you say that was anything other when that was anything other than an insurrection.
Go use your microphone. Guess what? I can say whatever I want because I'm an American.
By the way,
it was the most grotesque betrayal and abdication of presidential responsibility in American history. It constitutionally disqualifies him, in my estimation, from holding office ever again. How could anybody look at what happened? Look at what happened. It was a tour? How dare you?
You didn't see the shaman getting guided around? Mr. The guy was supposed to be this crazy wild man. Okay, here's my question. Steve, how do you explain the countless FBI agents in plain uniform that Congress won't even tell us how many?
Because it didn't happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. And
it didn't happen.
Ray Epps
led the violent insurrection.
Oh, yeah. By the way, let me see this. Can I solve it? Go back to that video. Could you show this video? People are rotting in jail for 30 years.
Yeah,
okay,
they're
for
criminals.
doing this shit.
What
What the hell does that look like?
Okay,
what
so
does that look like to you?
One video.
Look at the
Vinny.
violence. I don't give
Vinny,
a shit.
just because you're yelling doesn't mean you're right.
No, it doesn't matter.
That's one piece of video.
Yeah, one
Why
piece
don't
of
we
it.
show the hours of footage of them
Tucker
breaking
Carlson.
down the
Tucker,
wall?
Okay.
What do
guys,
we got here? We
guys,
got Tucker
who got
Carlson
shot?
here.
Who
we
got
got
shot?
we got a guy. We got
Who got
Tucker
shot?
Carlson. We got a
Who got
guy who's
shot?
got his own show on Russian
Ashley
TV.
Babbitt, God rest her soul.
We
a
got
veteran,
the king
12-year
of
veteran,
replacement,
gets shot. Yeah, look at
domestic
this. Oh my
terrorist.
God, look at this violence. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But let's
oh my
put
God,
it-
they're turning it up.
Let's roll
So-
the tape of the violence, though.
Okay,
Vinny. Okay, that's like saying there's a war going on over
Adam,
here, but you have video of outside of
hold
them
on.
getting along.
Here's my question.
There's other videos,
wait,
Vinny.
Hold on, let's go back. So you mean to tell me Donald Trump, 2016, we found this is a fact. This isn't BS. I made this up. 2016, fact. All right, the Durham report. Hillary Clinton, DNC, FBI, they all colluded to say he.
None of that's true.
No. Oh yeah.
all
None of it's true. So you're full of right now. Number one, 100% true. She paid for the dossier and did all that. 100%. So wait. So Donald Trump is crazy to think that they would cheat again? Are you kidding me? You mean having the FBI go to Twitter?
There's no evidence of voter
give me a
fraud
break. All right,
of
so
any
Durham's full of
type
shit, too.
whatsoever.
Durham's full
Anywhere.
of shit.
Yeah, but
No, you're
that's
full of
That's
shit.
a
No, you
separate conversation.
Hold on. By the way, and the hypocrisy for you guys to talk
You have any
shit,
good
the
videos from when
Lincoln
you were
Project
56?
was comprised of all the same shit that you guys accused Trump of. That's the funny part. You guys are all full of shit. Your whole crew was tax evading, Russian foreign agent, money scandaling people, and we're supposed to what? Believe you guys were making money. Where's all that money? Where's all the money? And I'm crazy? You didn't vet none of those people? You didn't vet none of them? No, none of these people. And it's always the ones that point are the biggest pieces of shit. The ones that go, hey, look at Trump, tax guy, Russia guy. It was you guys.
Wasn't me.
It's you. Oh, you're innocent. You're 100%
I pay
innocent.
my taxes.
Oh, okay.
Do you
Well,
want
I'm
to
saying-
find? You want to find some fucking guy? You know what you are?
an American patriot.
You're
That's
a whack
why.
job.
Yeah, I'm a whack job.
You're a whack job.
Let me guess. Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Dismiss conspiracy. No, the truth fucking hurts and doesn't care about your
Please.
feelings. Period. I'm sorry.
I'm not
other
delusional
than
about
what
he's
man.
saying about the peaceful tour of the Capitol,
Yeah.
which I fully disagree with.
It's
but
not.
but
it's
he's allowed
not.
his
It's
opinion.
not. It's not.
What is he
no,
saying
no, no,
that's
no.
wrong?
It's
though?
not. It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's lying into the camera about a violent event, saying it was peaceful, spouting conspiracy theories, and using a Tucker Carlson thing.
I didn't play the video.
I don't know what to say other than to say it's why the country, right? I mean,
It's why Trump is leading in the polls, because there's so many crazy whack jobs like me that are tired of your bullshit. Period.
Yeah,
America first. Look where the fuck America is right now. Where are we? Are you happy with what's happening right now in this country? Are you genuinely happy with what's happening in the country? Border wide open, inflation, all the bullshit that's happening, all the violence, all the smash and grabs, all the shit. You're happy?
I think three things. I genuinely think you're a whack job.
God bless you too. Thank you so much.
I think you're ignorant.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And I think you have nothing to say because you know that I'm right. And guess what? I hope to God Trump's win again. Trump wins again, so at night he just lives in your head.
So he can kill me?
No,
kill the chairman of the Joint Chiefs?
No, because I want you to wake up every morning and go,
Shut down NBC?
I want you to wake up every morning and go, oh, I want you to cry like all the people that cried, but he made America dope. It's people like you that are dividing us. All right? I don't give a shit about personality. I want policy. I want to live in a safe country, all right? I want the border to be secure. I want the economy to be killing, all right? I don't want people like you.
I don't know.
Like,
You seem
he's a boogeyman.
You seem a little rattled to me.
Not at all, bro. I'm on point all day.
So I feel the exact same way as Vinny there, in the sense that Steve Shit is basically an anti-Trump grifting, deceiving bot. And I know that this might come off as some constructive criticism, but I'm so happy when I see people unapologetically standing up to bullies like that. And obviously Vinny is a veteran. He's a tough guy. He's not like the politicians and the YouTubers who have never gotten their hands dirty before. He's not a guy you'd want to mess with. So I understand why he did get heated. And big respect to these guys for having these amazing conversations so often and getting these people on the podcast and just having good old fashioned scraps. So no big criticisms here, just my observations as the debating geek that I am. So as per usual, guys, if you want to hit those links in the bio, then you can find me everywhere. And also, top of the comments there, you're going to find my locals page where you guys can support the channel and engage with the community. If you guys want to subscribe to the channel, you can click right here. And if you want to watch another video, click right here. Till next time, I'm Jake. This is Rattlesnake TV, keeping you armed and dangerous.